When you think about building a new country, you probably picture the brick and mortar stuff, right? Like drawing solid borders on a map or maybe printing some fresh passports.
Yeah, exactly. The tangible architecture of sovereignty. I mean, that's how nation building has worked for centuries.
Right, but today we are doing a custom-tailored deep dive into a stack of sources that, well, completely flips that playbook. We are unpacking Somaliland's May 2026 diplomatic integration with Israel.
Which is a genuinely fascinating shift.
Definitely. But before we get into it, just a mandatory disclaimer for you listening. These sources contain some highly charged political perspectives from multiple sides. Emphasizing this, we take absolutely no sides, we don't endorse any viewpoints, and we are simply impartially reporting the ideas contained in the original materials.
Right. We're just laying out the data for you.
Exactly.
Okay.
Let's unpack this. May 18th, 2026. Somaliland's ambassador Mohammed Hagi is in Jerusalem, and he is presenting his credentials to Israeli President Isaac Herzog.
And this happens exactly on Somaliland's 35th Independence Day, which, is definitely not a coincidence.
Right. But looking at the language they use, they aren't presenting this as some new secession. What is the historical logic they're leaning on here?
So they are relying heavily on historical continuity. See, before Somaliland's brief union with Somalia back in June 1960, they actually had a few days of independence.
Wait, really? Just a few days?
Yeah, just a few days. And Israel was actually the very first nation to officially recognize them. So by pointing back to that specific moment, Somaliland's leadership frames this modern move as just reactivating a prior state-to-state relationship.
Oh, I get it. It's like claiming a grandfathered-in subscription. They're basically telling the international community, hey, we aren't signing up for a brand new account. We're just restoring the old, legitimate 1960 agreement we already had.
That is a great analogy.
Yeah.
And, well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, the mutual benefits driving this restoration are highly strategic for both sides. For Israel, formalizing this relationship secures a crucial foothold in the Red Sea.
Right, near the Bab el-Mandeb Strait.
Exactly. It's a vital maritime choke point that has been heavily threatened by Houthi insurgents recently.
Yeah.
And in exchange, Somaliland becomes the 8th nation to secure an embassy in Jerusalem, with Israel committing to a reciprocal embassy in Hargeisa.
But securing friends abroad seems to have, immediately sparked fires at home and right next door. How did Mogadishu react to this?
The blowback was massive. The federal government of Somalia in Mogadishu, along with the OIC, forcefully condemned the integration.
Because they view Somaliland as legally part of Somalia.
Right, exactly. So a foreign power establishing a formal embassy there is viewed as a direct assault on Somalia's territorial integrity.
And we're seeing intense domestic crises too, right? In the western city of Borama, the sources describe protests like youth burning tires and clashing with security.
Yeah, fueled mostly by marginalized clans. They already feel pretty disconnected from the central government, so they see this Israeli alliance and start panicking over rumors.
The sources mention fears of an Israeli military base and rumors of Palestinian resettlement. Why would those specific rumors take root there?
Well, in an environment of deep mistrust, people project international geopolitical anxieties onto local land disputes. The opposition in Barama argues that if Hargeisa leases land or makes security pacts without consulting them, it could bring Middle Eastern proxy conflicts directly onto their soil.
Wow.
Yeah. The rumor of Palestinian resettlement, true or not, taps into these profound fears of demographic engineering and losing their ancestral lands.
Which really makes me question the core strategy. I mean,
Right.
Is gaining a powerful international ally worth it if you invite domestic disintegration and potentially turn your backyard into a proxy war?
That is the existential gamble right now. Their whole state-building project relies on projecting this image of a peaceful, democratic oasis. If local entities shatter that image, the international recognition they are fighting for, well, it loses its foundation.
But those physical protests in Barama are just the visible symptom, aren't they? The actual war for legitimacy is playing out on a completely different battlefield, the digital one.
Oh, absolutely. The platform divide here is fascinating. Youth organizers are leaning heavily into TikTok for viral mobilization.
Lots of fast-paced reels, that sort of thing.
Yep. While the older generation and government officials use Facebook to maintain official legitimacy.
And the linguistic architecture of this digital battle is wild. They aren't just, spamming hashtags. They are deploying ancient Somali proverbs to fight this geopolitical war.
It is brilliant.
Yeah, like using Garna Kamabado, meaning he neither enters justice nor exits from it, to criticize Mogadishu. It's like coding modern AI algorithms with ancient wisdom.
Exactly. Oral tradition serves as the ultimate anchor for truth in Somali culture. So by using old proverbs to hack Facebook's discovery feeds, users prove their cultural maturity and get massive engagement, which signals the algorithm to push it viral.
So why should you, the listener, care about a diplomatic spat in the Horn of Africa? Because it demonstrates that modern sovereignty is an exercise in asymmetrical statecraft. A handshake in Jerusalem only goes so far.
Right, you have to win global diplomatic recognition and the algorithmic digital narrative to survive.
Which leaves us with a final provocative thought. If statehood and legitimacy are increasingly validated through social media feeds, will future independence movements need to prioritize hiring digital algorithm strategists over traditional diplomats?